Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Sunday morning conversations. I have two kinds of programs. One is in the evening. This situation we have here is a different kind of program that I have in the evening. The evening is only one thing: what is spiritual. But I'm looking at the TV and I'm thinking to myself, why did I come up to Grants Pass? I came up here because I saw civil war coming. Isn't that strange? And so I just wait, because I knew I got it then, 40 years ago, that I need to move up to Grants Pass. And I've been here. You're not going to get me out. I know what's coming: civil war. I came up here for civil war. Why so far up? It's going to be that bad. I haven't moved. I just stayed there and watch it come, little bit by little bit. God bless Trump, our president. God bless him. He could be the only person in this world that had that skill and that courage. And so, if you go to Facebook and Twitter, you'll see me say, I came to Grants Pass because I sense something is going to be bad for a long time, as I just expressed it. 40 years of waiting for something that I knew what was going to happen, but I didn't know how. That's all. Intuition. Intuition. Trust it. It's in you. And when it's in you, it stays. And I stay with it, if you know what I mean. I had no idea exactly, but I sensed the sense of sense, if that makes any sense. Anyway, now the kind of people that are called Democrats. The Democrat is a Democrat. They are degenerate, every single one of them. And you dare not to deal with them unless you understand. There is going to be a civil war, for sure. In those people coming down by the hundreds of thousands, you don't think they're going to stop at the border forever? No. It's going to be civil war. The danger here is that you've got half the country that are no damn good. That's right. Half the country are relative to their relatives on the other side of the border coming up. So what you got, you don't dare let them come in, because half the country is already degraded. And so, having said that, this is what you're going to experience. Your own people are going to kill you. Not if they're not really your own people, but it's a way of saying it. The left is, Obama is like Hitler. He loves his perverts. He loves the ones that love him. You have to watch now, because half the country, almost half, are degenerates, perverts of every single kind. And the reason why you had Obama, because he rises up like Hitler. But it's a different kind of Hitler. You have all that nice pleasure. So that's about what I can say. And I do recommend it, ladies and gentlemen who's listening to this, because there's only a small number of people here, but it will go down and you'll be able to hear it on the radio somehow. But I think something like this is necessary for you, because if the left, which is not right, is allowed to function, it has to be stopped. But they're hateful. They're hateful for the good people that are left on the other side. You have half of them that they are not people. And if anyone wants to come after me, please do it on the radio. They're not men, you see. They love their perverts. And they love not working. The Obama kind of person loves the person that doesn't like work. And he gives them all the things they want for nothing, so they all feel like they feel gloriously
Special.
That's right. And so they want to have no work, to let the other side work. The ones that like work, the ones that loves their wives and children, and have decency. They want to raise the tax if they get into power, because the only people that be working will get smaller and smaller and smaller, and then you become a slave sooner or later. If I can express it the best way I can, I never decided to talk about this when I came on, but I thought with my problem of speaking, but I hope you can grasp the danger that you're in, because there'll be less and less and less people working, more and more people not wanting to work, and so they have all kinds of things and be so grateful and think that they're wonderful people because the other people work. And we are like, we love our Obama. He loves us. Hurry up. Become more imperfect in a manner of speaking. They're perverts, every single one of them. And I wish anyone would call me. I wish Donald Trump would put me on the phone and just let me speak about this like that. And I won't know, I don't know what will happen. I guess I do know what happens, because they will hate me. Now I'm going to come, because what I just said is a prefix of what I really want to say, is that there is going to be a civil war, for sure, and you have to learn how to deal with it. Now, I want to talk to the good people, the decent people, the people that go to church. Now, I'm not saying you should go to church or synagogue. That's another subject, because you're not going to get strength from them. You're never going to get strength from people teaching you how to have strength and teaching you how to be right, only showing you what's wrong and showing you how you can overcome the overcomer. The overcomer is on the left. The overcomer, and the overcome is on the right. We still have a problem. We have a war on our hands, and you have to listen, deal with the war. I've said you come up, tell your children and your wife, come up to Grants Pass, because why so high? They're going to take you that far. It's going to be huge. They're not going to give up. They've got all these millions of people coming up, and they're taking away our country. They will take away our country because there's more of them than there is of us.
Are you talking about the people marching up from Central America?
Yes, I am, of course.
Okay.
Of course. There'll be no stopping it. Then you have a country, degenerate country. And the non-degenerate people, the good people, the decent people, will be just a small group. It's the end of your country. Get it from this broken boy here. It's possible. It's likely. Now, comes what I think you need. I don't want to boast, but I can raise my voice without being angry. Jesus could do the same thing. He could raise his voice and do what he had to do if he had to do it like that. But there's two ways. There's the cruel way, angry, ha. And then the person is another way of saying it. No, get out of my house. Get out of my house. Get out of my house. Move out. Not this. Oh, please, move out. It's a right. It's good to be strong. But there's got to be a kind of strong that's stronger than the strong of anger. Does that make sense? So, what's one person can say, hey, you little so-and-so, get up and get your teeth cleaned. And really be angry. Go ahead, get up. There's another way of saying it. Go up, please, thank you. Firm. Children love that. People love it. What is about that love that is absolutely magical? What you have now is evil in your country. You are stuck with this ugly thing. But the way that you can overcome having to kill them, which I don't wish for them to be, is how the country, not just you, because you learned how to deal with cruelty, calm. And it doesn't get you. It gets to them. They get upset because they can't upset you. Then you own them. Now here, I can enter into the world of spiritualness. I open the program with my babble, because it's all I do is babble. But the best babble is that I can get the best babbles and put it together as I did this morning. That's the best I can do. It's not good. I've lost the intellectual, and this is what you get. But I think you can understand it. Now, I go back to realize that there's two ways of being angry. There's two ways of making yourself go forward into what's right and more powerful than the adversary or the enemy. And this is what I wish to speak about. If I can quietly go into something that everybody should understand. And there are people who will understand what I'm saying. And there will be people who hate it. Now, if I had a daughter and I'm the dad and I love her, or the boy or the girl, it doesn't matter. If I say, go upstairs and clean your teeth. I've borrowed this from a movie. I said, excuse me, because this is what it was. And the little girl says, it doesn't move. And so he says, why are you not wanting to go? She says, it's the way you say it. Go up, clean your teeth. There's a little energy of strength. Not just cruelty, but firm. The child knows the difference between the irritated person going upstairs and clean your teeth, or go upstairs and clean your teeth. In that story, which I had the opportunity to see, it never got on the air, but it was something I remembered in it, and how the person, the writer, made that point so beautiful. And so the grandpa says, well, how would you want it? She says, be more firm. And he says, all right, go upstairs and clean your teeth. That's good, thank you. It is that. It stuck in my head because I don't know if I explained it as good as it was on the movie, but it stuck me. So I make the point this way. Not everything is mine. I'm borrowing this from somebody else who's understanding it. So what I need, if Donald Trump, let me just say this, I have knowledge beyond comprehension. I have knowledge with family. I have family. Everybody has problems with their family. But I have knowledge being Jewish, and you know what happens when you are that way in the military and wherever you go. Nothing touched me. Nothing. One of two things happened. They dropped dead trying. Yes. It was a long time. I remember I've been doing this for maybe 50, almost 60 years. I didn't know I was different from anybody else. I just didn't. But after a while, when I begin to see people dying, I mean, everybody who hated me, everybody involved himself, herself, but was cruel and dangerous and mean, whatever it is, whatever that was, nothing could get to me. Nothing. To this day, people who see me at firm, they say, why are you talking? No, I'm firm. I'm not angry. I'm firm. Then they react because they are angry people. And they sense there's something right with me and it disturbs them. I say, God knows how many people died. And here, God knows how many people will live from this concept. Now, any one of you who has secret anger, you'll die. Or, other than that, you may become angry and then say, oh, pain starts to grow. Pain. Months, maybe years, minutes, doesn't matter. It's a pain. You feel, because I don't get upset. They get upset. They don't understand what's happening to them. I can take a guy, big guy, just in the course of things. So we're not talking about, we're just saying a bully's coming up. And he says, hey, Jew. All bullies are cowards. Keep this in mind. All bullies are cowards. They weren't created a coward. They came into the world with intuition, sweet intuition, all the way to Paradise Lost. But when they come into the world comes into them. And it causes them to doubt themselves. It could be a minister that upsets you and makes you think. And they drill you to have things which is the wrong. You have to experience it themselves. Everybody has to experience themselves. You can't go to church. You can't go anywhere else. You have to learn. Actually, it's not a learning thing. It's difficult to explain other than learning because you have to put down your reaction to anything. But you can't do it. You don't have the power to do it because you've lost it when you came into the world. As I keep saying over and over again, and I want to repeat it over and over again, that Eve is the extension of darkness. Men could be the extension of graciousness and delightfulness and everlasting life. Men. Only men. Not women. But if women have decided she's never going to get married, that's a different story. She can find her way as just like a man. So I just want to make that point. But the relationship you have in marriage is you marry a woman who's the extension of your mother, and that mother is the extension of her mother. And it all goes back to Eve. The whole country and the men do likewise. They all fail. They try looking to the woman to love. But the woman is a killer. But she doesn't mean to be a killer. She was born pure. As I said, intuition, with having intuition, but when you have a parent who is the extension of her mother, who is the extension of grandmother, and a man that doesn't know what the hell's going on, looking for her to love her, she's not going to give you love. She hasn't got it. She needs love, but you don't know what love is. We don't know what love is. Love your enemy. This is what it boils down to. Don't get angry with how, if somebody took your children and cut that kid's head off, do not upset, because that is what will make you exactly like them. I want them to be exactly like me. I like the person who loves God and is the extension of God, not the extension of other people, women, your wife, your husband, all broken people. You have to find your own way. I don't know if this is sensible to you, but I'm coming back to our civil war. If you have a civil war, you will have people that will kill you just because you're not one of them. I have to tell you, the people on the left are murderers, potential murderers, and they raise up Obama kinds of people, in this case, that love the worst in them and encourages them and causes them to love even more and hate you for being pure. Can you see that? Hate is painful. And if they ever get hold of you, they'll kill you. I'm speaking from experience. Experience warfare in the war. As I walk from country to country, people to people, cruelty to cruelty, I don't see many people who understand what I'm saying. I want to express it again. When a bully who was once a baby and had intuition and lost it to their angry parents or spoiled by the mama, as if that was love. Love is not giving you things and having things. Oh, I love that. Love is only from God. Jesus says, why call me God? Listen carefully for this. Everybody says Jesus is God. No, they didn't read the Bible properly. Forgiveness is from God. Why call me God? There it is. Why call me God? So, what you need to be is relevant in a very special way, that you've got to learn how to deal with the horror around you that's going to get worse and worse and worse. And if you get upset, I just want to tell you the story, which is real. And I've mentioned it before because I don't like to run around to express these horrible things, but I can just remember one thing and hope you don't get upset too much. I had an attorney friend, and he was in the army, Second World War. When he came into the concentration camp, he sees the people, hundreds, thousands of them, bones, dying, death, dead, stinking. And so, when they came into the gates of this place, they saw one person, and that one person was different from everybody else. He was different. And he had flesh on his body. He was normal. And they asked him, "Why are you different from other people? How long have you been here?" He said, "I've been here 5 years." He said, "How come you look so good? Why are you not like the other people?" He said, "I don't know. The Nazis came in and killed 4 of my daughters. And something rose up in me. And something inside says, don't get angry. You will become one of them." Yes. Now come back to America. If you allow them to intimidate you, you will lose and become like them, or in conflict in them, in your brain, and useless for any graciousness. I want you, America, the ones that can hear me, my mind is a little broken. But when I get to spiritual things, this is something between spiritual and not. But if you know what I mean, I want you to become spiritual, not be the extension of your parent, and the parent's parent, and the parent's parent. Because every American person, if they react to cruelty, if they react in the house, if they react where they go to work. There's plenty of places, and there's lots of people who, excuse the expression, piss you off, if I don't mean to be rude. And when you get pissed off, you become, slowly but surely, one of them. And not only that, not just one of them, but not be able to deal with them. The chances are that you will actually change sides and be loved by them. Look at this in your own house. If you have a wicked wife, a disturbed wife, and you get upset, what do? You feel guilty. And so when you feel guilty, you want to love her. But you're loving the worst in them. Simple. Now, having to draw a line, all these things, if you're going to be at war, a civil war, you must not be frightened. You must not be upset. You must not be disturbed, because they're going to do everything they can to disturb you. They will hate you. They will do all kinds of things the most horrible things, murder, whatever the left will do this. The left isn't right. If you study them, they're very, very dangerous people. And then they have followers of dangerous people because those dangerous followers are loved by a wicked one, and they can't overcome that. So you've got to be careful, ladies and gentlemen, those who are on the right-hand side, not to lose your ground. And if you don't lose your ground, the persons that try to lose your ground will lose their ground to you, and you will control and absorb them. There's two things that will happen if you can stay calm. Always calm. Now, calm, as it says, I can stay calm if I want to like that, but I'm still calm. Just make a bigger noise. But it can't be a reaction to the person who is going to come up to you and do this, hey, and you flinch, and you don't know what to do. Then he pushes you and calls you a name. If you could try it, may I suggest you can walk out of your house and somebody will do this for you. I guarantee you it wouldn't take long.
You say they will attack you. They will attack you if you seem to be in their face. And you can be simply, you don't have to be rude, you just have to be expressing your opinion.
Correct.
Wearing a hat
Correct.
or something that says what you believe in, and they will be assaulted by that, and they will try to
It's
assault
not
you.
just a hat.
No, it's
which
not just
is
a hat. It's what
also
it represents.
to show you which side you're on.
Trump brings hundreds of thousands of people every week he brings them to his big events, the crowds that he has, and they're just normal people, normal Americans. They're husbands and wives and kids. They're happy. They're normal, and these people hate them.
Hate for normal. And the little children go to school, have a good family, and when he goes to school, the teacher is going to screw his head, and the kid's going to screw his head, and if you strike out, you blame him. You get the blame.
They go after the innocent ones.
That's right. So, this is very important. The war is going on for the last 50, God knows, 50 years. The war has been going on. But it's getting worse. We are getting weaker. They're getting stronger. And if you don't have the right energy, it's the energy. In other words, you have to learn not to get upset. If you get upset, you will become the extension of that person. And so, if I stay calm, two things will happen. He will get angry. And the more angry he is with you, let's assume you're saying it in your house or your places of work, and they keep doing it to you and keep doing it to you. You keep staying calm. And it bothers him. And it scares him. It really bothers and scares, to the point where they become one of two. They die, or they start to feel the pain in such a different way, because what's coming from you is coming from the light, not coming from anything else. And they begin a glimpse of the light, and they come round to you and say, thank you. You would bring a whole lot of people. If there's a whole lot of people can do that, and the adversary can't disturb them. Not at all. You don't need to disturb your friends in the army. You have to learn calm. And if I can go on the radio, and I'm going to be a bit rude, piss off everybody who's listening. That's what I would do. Piss off the other side and disturb them and let them come and call me on the phone and we can have a discussion, and I would pump him a little bit more. And pretty much he either gets better or he gets worse. I get better. He gets better or worse. I win. He loses. I have noticed, perhaps if I may say so, that I have lived a long time. I've had more sickness and diseases, and guess what? I had many sicknesses and diseases that were put on me. I had one doctor, I had to walk away from him. He put me into 3 dangerous situations, one after the other, and tried to kill me. It was the nurse that did it. I just mentioned that many, many times and then let it go. I recovered from them, and I'm still recovering from whatever happened, what I did to myself. I just sat in a chair and fell back into concrete. And so this is what you get. But I think you're getting something out of it anyway. But I shall only focus on what God wants and help you overcome that He's giving you something, but you can't see it yourself. Everything goes right. Everything goes right. Nothing goes wrong. This city, Grants Pass, I have waited about 30 or 40 years. I came up and everything went against me, as you can see. Everything. Can't fight it. Still, I remained here, and I'm warning now, the reason why I picked Grants Pass is because what is coming ahead, which I didn't know. There's millions of people going to come ahead, and they're never going to stop. And there's going to be what you call a civil war, and they will come right in. Millions of them. The borders are not fixed yet. They will have to put wire, and that was not going to stop them. It's not going to stop them, and this is deadly.
Roy, you've been talking about this for many years. I've listened to you for a long time, and for some reason, when you brought this up several weeks ago, I felt this tremendous fear.
Very simple. Be a coward and die, or straighten up and stay calm. No judge. Don't judge him. He's a broken person. Don't judge him.
Okay.
Otherwise, you become an extension of him, don't you see?
Who's him?
Anybody.
The enemy.
Yes, the enemy. The very thought of it is getting into you, and there's nobody there. Just the thought. Don't be a coward. Be a human being. See how I talk to you? Not rude.
About 2 weeks ago, I started feeling that fear, and I've been able to look at it, and it does go away. It keeps coming back, and I keep trying to look at it, but at this point, I feel a little more overcome by it.
Just
She says 2 weeks ago she started feeling the fear, and it goes away and comes back. So what do you think she should do? But I think it's the same answer, which is don't entertain those thoughts. You have to know what you know, all the way to the bone marrow of your body and soul. And if you keep having these little fear thoughts, just tell them, go away, go away.
That's correct.
My dad has said for many years that when you're born, 2 people are born, the you and the alternate you. And if you listen to the other side, the dark side, then you're going to become that alternate you that it wants you to be.
Correct.
It's trying to pull you. It's like that old saying about there's two wolves fighting. And the little boy says to his grandfather, Indian chief, he says, "Father, which wolf will win?" And the chief says, "The one you feed." So if you keep feeding that doubt, that's what's going to get you.
I have seen that, yes.
So that's it.
Yeah.
Look, to put it simple, you are going to die a coward if you're not careful. But you have a way of overcoming that cowardness. But only God can give it to you, nobody else.
Yes.
Then the 7-minute meditation. There's something in that 7-minute meditation that turns everything round. In other words, you have thoughts and emotions and driven by emotions. And that's because you lost your parents. They lost their parents from their parents, so they're not really themselves, and they don't know. Your parents don't know that they don't know themselves. They think they're normal. They're not, but they can't see it. But you can see it, and then bang, go, and you lose intuition, and you just become a coward.
I have been a people pleaser all my life, and I have recently seen just how much of a coward I have been.
A lot.
A lot.
What do you gain by being a coward?
Nothing.
You don't want to be a bully. That's the other side.
Right.
So those two don't belong. What is belonging is in the middle. But what is in the middle? Nothing. No thing. Nothing, no thing. So, if you hate your mother, may I suggest she was cruel. But when she was a baby, she came into the world as a normal child with intuition. But the double-headed mother, in other words, the mother that thinks that her thoughts are those, they're only the thoughts of their mother, all the way back to Paradise Lost. There's something wrong with the whole human race. Every woman has it, and every man goes crazy and dies trying to fix it.
I was talking to my dad the other day, and I said, prayer is you talking to God. Meditation is you listening to God. And he says, that's right.
Yes, but you don't. It's a very interesting thing that Alan brings up, because I've only been able to speak of it for having done it for God knows how many, 50 years. Nothing touches Roy Masters. Nothing. But it's a thing, but a no thing. So when you give yourself to God, you feel nothing, and anybody starts to upset you, you see it coming, and it doesn't touch you.
I'm going to add to that. You go to church, and you go to the sing-songy churches, and you go in there, and you feel good, and you feel the power.
That's the worst.
Feeling is not no thing. That's
Good.
something. You can also lose yourself in the feel-good thing of Jesus Christ and the church and the songs. But the reality is that you don't want to feel good. You want to feel nothing and know that it's the right thing.
But the nothing,
know.
the nothing is a no thing. So you can't conceive of it. It's a no thing. Be still and know I am God. What is still? Be still, quiet. Now, it has to come from one side, judgment, and the other side, forgiveness. I've mentioned this before, and I think I will bring it forward again. Judgment is enjoying pleasure to see your enemies suffer. That's dangerous. Judgment is mine. And then the other one is forgiveness. You can't forgive. You cannot forgive. You can't use the words, intellectual words, which we think is, which it isn't. The only thing you got to make it nice and simple, here's what I like this. It's so simple, it's hard. You can say, it can't be that simple. It can. Go to fhu.com, the 7-minute meditation, and this little thing, I'm looking at your eyelids, this little thing I get you to do is disconnecting the soul. The soul is disconnected to the brain, flesh. And it has that happen to them as I expressed it today. Shock. As a child. You had intuition, you had faith, and you lost it, and you begin to you doubt yourself. So what you got now is, with a meditation, 7-minute meditation, what I'm really doing is showing you the inside of your thoughts. And then suddenly realizing, oh my God, what's that I'm doing? And to realize, but realize from who? From something in, because you're disconnected. When you're closing your eyes, and I'm saying, look at the little pixels in there, and make your fingers tingle. What I'm doing is disconnecting you from your brain. The soul is entwined in your brain from the outside, and it responds. So you may have all the intellectuals and everything's clever. You're dead. You can't. Everything you do gets worse, and if it gets better, it gets worse. Because the more good you get, the more feelings and good you get, the worse you become. The worse you don't understand it. So you want to get something nicer. Something nicer is worse. It's further away from God. You're playing with games. You're rich, maybe rich, and you die from your riches. So sometimes you want to get them away. It won't cure you either. It's simple. It's only people who there's a certain kind of person that will grasp that almost immediately. And it's all done. It's also nice to listen to me with the other side. There's 15 minutes of, how many minutes? It's 30 minutes for the other one. Be still and know. I think it's the one. It's good just listening. And it makes things more clear, as I'm trying to do now. But Roy Masters has no power. I'm the extension of power, but I'm not the power. You don't want to mess with me in your heart and your mind. And the enemy will experience that. And the enemy can be turned into a friend. And because there are good people who are broken on the wrong side. And when they come into contact with you, they're meeting something which they had, but now is standing right in front of them all the time. Not just a few moments, bang, and you do it. No. Your love of God is an extension, and the energy cannot be filled. Like emotions is an energy, and energy drives things. God drives things, but you can't feel it. It's an amazing thing, but it's not of this earth. It shows you, wow, I see that. How we see that. But after a while, it gets normal.
I got in a little discussion with some folks, and they brought up in the Bible how it speaks of the voice of God and that still small voice. What is your take on that? Because it must be, to me, from what I see, from my experience, it must be a mistranslation of words there. Because
no, you're talking about going to church.
A lot of the church people,
and they show you this, that.
Yeah.
No, you cannot learn from the outside. You must, how can I say it? I went to school, I had these teachers, and one teacher had a breath, you could smell it on the other side of the room. And everybody else had something similar to that. And it stunk. And so one day, there was 4 people in the class. And she says, why? I said, I don't want you to teach me anything. I will not learn anything from you. I don't know how much you know, you know. That's me when I was young. I never learned anything from anybody. I wait to see it for myself. That's freedom. You will see it. You will be given to see it. And I will show you how you get there. 7-minute meditation. Plus the rest of it. It's nice to learn. Because I'm talking to you in a way that you're seeing it anyway. See, just giving it names.
So I realize I've gone to some of the churches, and there's a lot, like Alan was saying, there's a lot of emotionality. There's a lot, especially before they pass.
It stinks.
It does.
It stinks.
I realize that what they're doing, that's why I appreciate here. Here you, like I know in my life, I was off course, so there's a course correction. There, they're making you feel good, so there is not the opportunity for the course correction. It's the opposite. They're giving you a good feeling on the course that you're on, and they're missing the boat.
Correct. Are you understanding it now? I started with the ability, my ability is lost. I had a struggle with it, but you understood it. And then I turned around and started to speak about the spiritualness of it and the simplicity of the fact that it's in the scripture. It's so scriptural. And the average person who will hear this, judgment is mine, saith the Lord. And then forgiveness. Jesus was ruined by the fact that he forgave. They knew it then. They knew it. You can't use that language. You can't just, and you cannot forgive, especially the forgiving one. It was notable to the bad guys. I say, throw everything away. Everything you ever learned. What I'm trying to say is common sense. How do you know? Language. You can say anything. You've got, God knows, 100,000 different words. And you can take the words and turn them any way you want. So everybody can have their own idea and struggle with each other or agree with each other. You need to stop. Stop. You're going to die. You are going to die and not live according to the gift that God has given you through Jesus. I'm Jewish. Listen to me. I am Jewish. I recognize where he's coming from. He's not teaching me. He's living it, and I can see what life is, what life really is. And it's hard to explain. And so he had an aura. And so If you stay in the room with him, you will be seeing reality all the time, because he is. Wow. Some people will hate it, and other people will love it. Let it be as it will.
My wife wanted to say, that's why we come, because of the aura that you have.
He said that.
Because of your aura, in your presence, we see things in ourselves.
That's why we come.
Aura.
That's why we come, not for all the other stuff.
That's right. That's good, isn't it?
And
Yeah.
most people don't see it.
You know. But they do come.
They do come.
And, you know, and they may just get a glimpse, flash. But as far as you, ladies and gentlemen, just realize that your intellectual energy, intellectual understanding, is worth nothing. It's only worth something because you do have a language. You don't have a weird language. You have a good language. But there's got to be a sound in the language that God has put for you to see. And it could be any Timbuktu. As long as you have an understanding, or certain degrees, words and things like that, there's something missing, and when that missing, and the words represent what is missing, the way it comes from, because we do have a language. Every language would have the same relationship. I'm talking about if it was French, is speaking French. The thoughts will be in French, but it'll still be the same. It's the spirit. You could have no knowledge at all. I can remember that I could swear that I heard something said I was in my mother's womb. And it says something. I'm not quite sure what it was, but it has something to do with purpose. Purpose. It said something that's made purpose important to everything else. And it had a language. And that little thing caused me to be concerned. Did I hear that? Did I mention that? Did someone put that in my head? Did I have it when I was outside my mother's body? Or is it, but I swear it was inside first and outside second. And it stuck in me to such a degree, I would not let anybody teach me anything. I want to teach myself whatever it is. And when I was a kid, I was learning all kinds of things, but not from books. If it was chemistry, I want to fix it. How was that again? Bang. Oh, I had to go to the doctor. But I wanted to see if I can see it. I want to see it, and if I couldn't see it, then I gave in to listening to somebody who can say it. Ah, I see it. Simple. I wait. It happens. The beauty of this is power, but not power from you. Power through you. The energy coming through is enabling you to see everything that you need to see. That's it. I cannot tell you what they are. They're all gone, but still coming. All gone, coming. All gone, coming. Coming. More, more. It's growing. I see with my eyes what's given to me to see and to hear. That's all. Yeah. I'm an extension of the Creator. That's all I can tell you. I like that. I liked being shown from Him, not from them. That's it. You grow. And you know the answer to everlasting life? I'm 90. I might get to 2,000. Who knows? Or 2050. Who knows? But I look at the struggle, the suffering. You have no idea. Suffer, 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 and not hate it. Suffer, don't hate. Lose something, don't hate. Don't get upset. Not a big deal. It's a big deal when you say it's not a big deal in the right way. You wait and see. How many times can I say it? It's many. Yeah.
I just wanted to say that I did some homeschooling with my kids, and I believe that that gave them the opportunity to hear from their own, from the inside.
I hope so.
So that's one thing that homeschooling can do. And also, I realized...
It depends on the home.
Yeah, it was a broken home, but I realized that I homeschooled myself. It's like I unlearned what I had learned
Discovering.
and started discovering, like they were discovering.
It becomes real. Oh, I never saw that before. And it's gone. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. Oh, wow. It's alive. Leaves, trees, flowers, bees. What do you want to be, please? I was given this job to say, get away from your school, get away from church, get away, be yourself, allow yourself to be, and to show you, oh, I can see that, thank you. Oh, I can see that. But you can't really see the individual, because he's an individual from the inner. It's very difficult to make that point, except you say it over and over again. It's nice to be able to let God, how can I say, let Him act through you. It's just beautiful. And I can give you just a little bit that could be helpful because it's so small. Since you can't judge, since you can't forgive, let go and let God. Stop judging everybody and stop looking in the other way. You're left with just a few words that can bring you to all reality. And that is, my mother, I can see she wasn't herself. And so was my grandma. She wasn't herself. And the grandma's grandma. And nearly all the women like that. So you've got a problem with women. And men, you've got to be careful. Don't go looking to women for love. That's only lust. It's love. We can call it love if you want to, but it isn't real love. And so all you've got is, I was angry with my mom. My mum was really, really cruel. But she didn't know. She was not aware. There's no light there. She did not know that horror and cruelty, she thought it was the right thing to do. You know, you get your little so-and-so. Yeah, you get your little this. You know, clean your teeth. You know, do this. The energy comes from the ugly world. And your thoughts come from stupid worlds. Think of how many different religions, excuse the expression, none of them are any good. Judaism is the best you have, but still not good enough. You need experience. This is what I want to say. A Jewish boy says, listen to Jesus. He is the only one that was ever real come to pass. That's all. And you will see him as special. You will see him, and you can trust with him and be correct with him. That is what you will have with me. Do you see that? I have him in me. And so, God was in him, and he was in me. I can experience him as if he was sitting next to me. That is what he is. I'm the extension of him. And it isn't my master's. It is the energy that I can't sense. From experience, I know it's there. From experience, I can see that on the right, you have judgment. On the left, you've got forgiveness. What else do you have? As if to say, oh, I see my grandma. I see my wife. I see my mother. And that is a gift you see. And if they can't see, you can't judge. You don't need a judge. It's none of your business. You just see they're judgmental. And that judgmental hurt you when you were a little kid. It was crazy when you were a little kid. And it got worse as you were a little kid. And it made you everything worse, miserable. Money doesn't do it. Poverty doesn't do it. Drugs don't do it. Nothing does it. And so, but there's only one thing left. On the right is judgment, no good, anger. On the left is forgiveness. It's not yours to give. So, now you see your mother, and you don't have to hate her anymore because she couldn't see. And if she couldn't see, why am I angry? I've become like her. How many ways can I say it? Spiritually speaking. I'm mingling it with what I started off, which made a mess of it, excuse me, but that's what I had. And I'm not afraid of being stupid sometimes, as far as that's concerned. How many people can grasp this? Can you really? If you can, you have a wonderful power. But you can't feel it as wonderful, and you can't feel it as power. But everything works in the way, like to to say it to a point, came up to Grants Pass 40 years ago. It was absolutely ugly. It still is ugly. I don't have as much relationships to people. My evening programs, are not as great as they were many years ago. I was not good for many years, but I didn't let it bother me. I don't let things bother me. That's it. That's all I can say. You have actually heard of what I just said, bother. Just take another look. She can't see. On the left, she's got judgment. On the other side, she has forgiveness. Cannot use the meaning of those words. All you can see is mother is broken. Mother is now double-minded. She can't see, she can't. All you need to do is that. And you let it go. Yes, I let it go. Not much, but lots of good comes in that place where you were starting to get upset or being upset for years and years and years and years and struggling and struggling and struggling and try to do good, that there's no good. That's all. So I hope I didn't mess with your head today. Did you understand how important it is? My problem, I know it well. Monday night, you will see me speaking only on intuition. I won't miss a trick. Won't miss it. Trying to deal with you in this way is half and half. I tried my best in words, which didn't come out right, but it was all I had. But when I started to talk with spiritual things, that's different. Those things, God is speaking, the world isn't. God is teaching, the world isn't. Look how much knowledge I've got. If you came to my house and want to see how much work I've done, hundreds of books, hundreds of books. A book may be 30 pages. A book may be 100 pages. Wherever I go, did I do that? Did I do that? I don't remember doing it. I don't want to remember it. It's too much for me. It's me. I go click. You can't stop it. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Did I do this? I read it. I wrote this. I couldn't. But I did. It's good. It's fun. It's beautiful. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.